right, so we're gonna do a little bit of vibe coding, I guess, right now. And what I mean by that is I'm just gonna kind of putz around with this template. There was a woman on Twitter that wanted recurring tasks inside of Tana. And she was not wanting to use these little buttons here, right? And I'm like, well, what can we do? And so I figured the best way for me to teach you guys how to do this is for you to just go through the thinking with me, and maybe we'll all learn something along the way. I don't really know the answer to this, but let's see what we can find out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse engineer this template by Theo, right? So this is his recurring to-do template. And I've already modified it a little bit because I don't use date, I use due date. So I modified it so that it's using the due date because that's the field that I use inside of my tasks. And so interval, we're not going to mess around with that, but we can go into there. Actually, no, we'll go into it here. And you're just choosing from the numbers, right? And that's the number of the units, right? So if we go into the unit, we've got days, weeks, months, and years. But, and then basis. Let's have a look at the date time, the created, the done time. Okay, got it. From what we're going to use. Makes sense. Okay. So now that is our little command, right? And that's when push on that, that's the thing that checks it off and then moves it forward. So she doesn't want it to be like that, using that. So let's think about what we need to do here. What's happening is this right here is the node filter on when this will show up. So that little command right there will show up when the due date is set, the interval is set, unit is set, and basis is set. Okay? So that's the node filter for when you would see this little thing here, right? And so when I click on this little thing here, it's going to do this, this, and that. Now, so we don't want to click that in order to do this. What she wants to do is she wants to mark it as completed, and then it does this. So I think we leave the recurring tag as it is. So she can put recurring on any of her tasks, or like I do, we saw just a second ago, go into all my recurrings, right? So I use recurring on my money finances, right? So all of this stuff here, these are recurring payments, right? And recurring income and things like that. So I want to be able to use it there. I also want to be able to use it on my tasks. But you could just as easily put it inside of just the task itself. But I think the best way forward for what she's wanting to do here is let's keep it as a separate tag to put on whatever you want, because I think it makes it more flexible, right? And so let's look in here. Again, I changed the date to be the due date because that's what I use inside of my tag. That's all good. Now, here's where the fun begins. So, this is the command structure for the way that it is right now, right? Is when I click on this, it does those tasks. But we don't want it to do that, right? We don't want to use that. I think what we want to use is on checked. Do this. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to pop it right there. And now let's go back into that recurring to do. Okay, so node filter will still be valid. Update the date. That will still be valid. And that will still be valid. Mark completed. Really, all we need to do is we don't need this part, right? I could delete it. Okay. We are not going to mark it as completed. We are going to say when completed. Okay. So, let's see if that works. I honestly don't know if it's going to work. So, that's a little, so now we need to do the opposite, right? And this is where the rub comes in. The task that we created, instead, because we can't really get a hold of the duplicated task, right? And this really would make it a recurring task. So let's see this. What does this do? We don't need to duplicate it at all. What we need to do is actually the opposite of what I just did. Not done. So, I don't know if that's going to work. Let's just try it out. Okay. So, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to set this for 3 days. First of all, let's make it recurring. And let's go in here. And 1 week, that's fine. Let's just leave it at 1 week. Let's make sure we have a day and not a week. So we'll say today. Okay, so that's for today. So let's try this. If I click done, it marked it as undone. It duplicated it. Uh-oh. This is not good. I'm gonna quit it to see if I can get it to stop doing whatever it is it's doing. I think what I needed to take out was that duplicate, right? I know a lot of smart people have been working. Yeah, it just kept going. So not good. Not good. We do not want to do that. We only want that to happen once. So let's take out that duplicate. Update date, update time. This is the piece we don't want. I'm just totally breaking the hell out of this. Bye. Insert the relative date. Ooh, I don't want to remove the tag. Okay. No, I don't want to do that either. Okay, cool. I think I don't want to do that either. Okay. Let's try that now. So what we will do by doing it this way, if it works out the way that I want it to, is it will simply shift the recurring item forward, and we won't have a record of the item in the past. Don't know if that's what you want, but let's see if it works. Now, let's see if we mark this as done, and it changes that. Oh, well, we have to make it recurring again. So let's go recurring. And there we've got our 1 day, 1 week. And now let's mark this as done, see what happens. See if that date changes to a week from now. It does not. So, okay, node filter, the due date info, that is set, right? Update the date. Insert the relative date. The due date. Mark it as not done. So it seems that it's not doing this one. And it's probably because of the node filter. So let's get rid of the node filter. Because it's basically now just rescheduling. Let's see. Let's go into it. It's not changing the due date. Let's go back to the original template. Let's make sure, I'm looking at this on another screen here. Let's make sure, oh, this one right here. This is screwing us up. I think we're going to be okay now. To today. All right, so let's go into here. Maybe this might work. This should change to 1 week from now. And mark this back to done. There we go. All right. So that, now it won't keep a record of your completed tasks. But it will keep that recurring one going. Let's find out if it works for, let's just make sure it really works. I'm going to say 3 days from now. And it's the 12th. And now it makes it the 22nd. That is not 3 days from now. That should be the 15th. Oh, it's 3 days from that date. Okay, no, that makes sense. Let's do that again. Totally brain fart there for a second. Today. Okay, 3 days from today when I mark that. Yes. All right, my dear, we solved the problem. This is what you wanted, right? The only thing that you have to do is you have to add the recurring super tag to that task in order for this to work. Because once I get rid of that, this will not work, hopefully. So let's go. Yes, nothing happened. Yay. Okay. So there we go. That is your recurring task. You don't have a record of the completed task, but you don't have to use the thing there. I'm just going to create a template from this. You know what? I can modify it. Okay. Modified by Marnie to make it work only on when complete. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't need that. Only on when complete if the recurring super tag is there. Okay. What you probably could do too is, again, I don't want to do it because we're spending a lot of time on this, but you could add another command in there to set the date that it was last done and update the date that it was last done. There's all sorts of ideas. But anyways, I think we're done for right now, and I'm going to give this to you.